In a shocking twist of scheduling fate, the San Francisco 49ers are set to embark on an unprecedented travel odyssey in the 2026 season. They'll kick things off in Melbourne, Australia, on September 10th against the Rams, marking the first ever NFL game on Australian soil. But this isn't just a typical season opener. It's the beginning of a grueling journey that will see the 49ers cover a staggering 38,105 miles, shattering the previous record by over 1,000 miles. It's a travel burden that no franchise has ever had to bear, and it raises serious questions about competitive fairness in the league. Where are you watching from today? Let us know in the comments, and share your thoughts on how this schedule could affect the 49ers. This season, the 49ers will traverse 58 time zones, obliterating the previous high of 42. While many fans might think the scheduling is equitable, same number of games, same salary cap, just look at the Carolina Panthers, who will log a mere 8,740 miles. That's roughly 4.5 times less than what the 49ers will endure. The disparity is glaring, and it's hard to ignore the consequences that such extensive travel will have on player performance. The NFL has loaded the 49ers with 2 international games, one in Melbourne and another in Mexico City, just 10 weeks later. This decision, made by the league, feels less like a random occurrence and more like a calculated strategy to extract maximum revenue from certain franchises while obscuring the competitive imbalance it creates. Studies show that transcontinental travel can suppress reaction times for up to 72 hours post-arrival. Imagine the toll this will take on our players, who will be battling sleep disruption and dehydration while trying to maintain peak performance. As the 49ers face these continuous windows of degraded performance, the Panthers, with their light travel load, remain comfortable within their regional time zone. It's a stark contrast that could have implications on how both teams fare throughout the season. The Rams, who will also make the journey to Melbourne, will travel just under 8,000 miles for this match. However, that is still a fraction of what the 49ers will endure. The other teams in the league, like Houston and Dallas, also have hefty travel burdens, but none come close to what the 49ers are facing. Yet, sportsbooks continue to price the 49ers odds as if travel fatigue doesn't factor into the equation at all. Predicting NFL outcomes without considering how travel impacts player performance is a misguided approach. The NFL has set a precedent this season with more international games than ever before, and for the first time, the 49ers will play 2 international contests in non-consecutive weeks. This is a test case for the league's new global model, one that prioritizes revenue at the expense of competitive integrity. If the 49ers struggle early in the season, it's all too easy for pundits to point fingers at head coach Kyle Shanahan, dissecting his strategies and decisions. Yet, few will acknowledge the brutal travel schedule that has set them up for a challenging start. The league has the power to impose limits on travel variants, consolidate international trips, or even provide salary cap relief for excessive travel burdens, but they've chosen not to. Instead, they continue to push for globalization, while the 49ers bear the brunt of the consequences. The competitive disadvantage was baked into the schedule before a single game was played, and it's infuriating to think that the league could have mitigated this, but chose not to. As the 49ers gear up for a season unlike any other, one has to wonder, is this a deliberate move by the NFL to stack the odds against the 49ers, or is it simply the cost of expanding the league's reach? The answers may not be clear now, but as we head into this historic season, it's crucial to pay attention to the implications of this travel schedule. The 49ers' journey begins in Melbourne, but their real challenge may have started long before they take the field. Now, as we shift gears, let's delve into the next piece of news surrounding our beloved 49ers. What would qualify as a disaster for the San Francisco 49ers in 2026? Missing the playoffs entirely would surely fit that bill, especially after last season's promising postseason run, even amidst a barrage of injuries. In a bold prediction, Gilberto Manzano of Sports Illustrated has the 49ers finishing 3rd in the NFC West for the 2nd consecutive year, but this time, he suggests that a 3rd-place finish won't be enough to secure a playoff spot. Manzano forecasts the 49ers wrapping up the season with a disappointing 8-9 record, raising alarm bells about the roster's age, injury history, and an exhausting travel schedule. He believes the Los Angeles Rams will dominate the division with a 13-4 record, while the Seattle Seahawks will snag a wild card spot at 12-5. These predictions feel particularly stinging for fans who are eager to see a powerful resurgence from a team that has shown flashes of brilliance in recent years. The offseason did see the 49ers making some key moves to reshape their wide receiver core and continue fortifying their defensive line, but Manzano seems unconvinced that these efforts will be sufficient to keep pace in an ultra-competitive NFC West. One of the major concerns highlighted is the reliance on Mike Evans, the soon-to-be 33-year-old wide receiver who, during his last season with the Buccaneers, missed 9 games due to injury. To compound matters, the health status of wide receivers Kirk and Ricky Pearsall has been shaky at best. It's a precarious position for the 49ers, who are already grappling with an aging roster that has faced its fair share of injuries over recent seasons. To make matters worse, the 49ers will embark on a daunting travel schedule, covering a staggering 38,100 miles in 2026. The season kicks off with a grueling 15-hour flight to Australia, where they will face their arch-rivals, the Rams. That's not just a long-distance journey. That's a significant mental and physical hurdle right out of the gate. The international games don't stop there. Later in the season, San Francisco will host the Minnesota Vikings in Mexico City during Week 11. To top it off, 4 of their last 6 games will be played on the road, including tough matchups against the Los Angeles Chargers and Kansas City Chiefs. This grueling end to the regular season could spell disaster for a team already facing issues with depth and health. It's worth noting, however, that Manzano did concede that the NFL schedule makers offered the 49ers a slight reprieve following their overseas adventure. He mentioned that after the trip to Australia, the 49ers have a favorable stretch, featuring 4 home games in 5 weeks, with just a short road trip to Seattle in the mix. This could provide the team with a crucial opportunity to turn fortunes around, but will it be enough? Looking at the broader NFC landscape, Manzano's projections have the Dallas Cowboys, Detroit Lions, New Orleans Saints, and Rams winning their respective divisions, while the playoff picture fills out with the Chicago Bears, Vikings, and Seahawks taking the wild card spots. As we analyze these developments, it's critical to remember that predictions are just that, predictions. They can serve as a wake-up call for the team and its fans. The San Francisco 49ers have the talent, but they need to harness that potential and navigate the pitfalls that lie ahead. With a mixture of hope and skepticism, fans will be eager to see how this season unfolds. Now, let's transition into our next story and see what other challenges or triumphs await this storied franchise. As we dive into the final segment of today's analysis, it's crucial to discuss the future of the San Francisco 49ers wide receiver core, particularly the fate of Demarcus Robinson. With the offseason reshaping the landscape of the receiving unit, the question looms: could Robinson be on the chopping block before the 2026 season kicks off? Fans, where are you watching from? Leave your thoughts on this potential shakeup in the comment section below. While many might point to Brandon Ayuk as the player at risk, recent discussions have taken a turn towards Robinson, a veteran who had a disappointing last season, with only 22 catches for 276 yards and a single touchdown to his name. Those numbers certainly left fans wanting more, especially given the 2-year contract he signed last offseason that raised expectations. The 49ers front office has made it clear that they are not shy about making tough decisions, and Robinson's performance hasn't exactly inspired confidence. Analyst Mo Moton has raised an eyebrow at Robinson standing within a dramatically altered receiving core. The 49ers have aggressively added talent this offseason, signing the 6-time Pro Bowler Mike Evans and versatile wideout Kirk, while also drafting De'Zhaun Stribling in the 2nd round. This influx of talent creates a highly competitive environment for roster spots, and unfortunately for Robinson, the odds are stacked against him. Kirk's potential addition to the roster could serve as a key replacement for Jawan Jennings in the slot, especially when offensive weapons like Christian McCaffrey or George Kittle aren't occupying those positions. If Kirk secures his place on the team, he would join Evans, Stribling, and Ricky Pearsall as nearlocks, leaving only a couple of spots for the rest of the receivers to fight for. The recent draft investments in Jacob Cowing and Jordan Watkins suggest the organization is looking toward the future, further complicating Robinson's chances. Moton's analysis isn't optimistic for Robinson, emphasizing that his role as primarily an outside receiver leaves him with little chance of making the final cut, especially with the star power now surrounding him. The competition is fierce, and the 49ers are known for their high standards. So, what does this mean for Robinson? He'll need to significantly elevate his game during training camp and the preseason to prove he deserves a spot on this team. The 49ers have set a high bar for themselves, and every player must rise to meet that challenge. The fans should keep a close eye on how Robinson performs in the upcoming practices and games. Will he rise to the occasion, or will he become another casualty of the fierce competition? As we close this segment, the future of the 49ers wide receiver group remains uncertain, but one thing is clear: The organization is taking steps to ensure they are a formidable force in the league. Make sure to stay tuned to all the latest developments regarding the team. And as always, feel free to share your thoughts on Robinson's future and what you think the 49ers should do at wide receiver. Don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth analysis and commentary on your favorite team.